All right, so today we're working on claiming the door, and what we're doing here is creating an invisible boundary by the front door, and you can also use this for any doorway in the house, so you can set this for any other entryway that people are coming in and out of. You want to make sure that the whole family is aware of exactly where this invisible boundary is. That way everyone's consistent and the dogs can learn faster. So right now we picked this as the invisible boundary, and that leads over towards the front door. So the dogs are not supposed to cross that boundary when there's a guest at the door. They do know the difference between if someone is not at the door, they can go forward and go into that area. So right now we have one of the guardians playing the part of the guest. And one important thing to know is that it doesn't matter initially if the dogs are barking. Mostly you just want to disagree with them using the escalating consequences for crossing this boundary. Barking will stop on its own as you work on this exercise. When you're working with multiple dogs like this, you want to pick, at least if both dogs were rushing forward, you want to pick one dog to move behind the boundary and then work with the second one afterwards.
Look at Winnie go.
You always want to, in the beginning stages, you always want to have either your body or your head facing the dogs. So when I go to get the door, if my body's turning away, I want to keep my head facing the dogs. Notice that this time when I use the escalating consequences, I didn't have to go all the way up to the boundary. I hissed, and that was enough to keep me away from crossing the boundary. And I'm just kind of jiggling the door handle just to help kind of facilitate. And again, notice I didn't have to get all the way to the boundary, and Billy was able to take a step back. And I was just jiggling the door handle, doing things that might elicit a response from the dogs. Okay. Then we'll invite our guest in. Come on in. So the rule is that the dogs can't go and greet the guest until the guest has actually walked into the house and passed the boundary. Then the guests can go ahead and greet the dogs, as long as the dogs have stayed in nice, calm energy. If the dogs start getting excitable, jump up, or anything like that, ask your guests to kindly just ignore them, meaning also no eye contact until they calm down. But this exercise alone should help them stay much, much calmer, because they have to use self-control to be able to stay behind the boundary while people are coming over. So why don't you come on forward and we'll walk in. Exactly, perfect. So this is exactly how you can use this, and I want to remind you just one more time that you can use this exact same method by creating these invisible boundaries in different parts of the home. So you can create this around your dinner table. You can put this in the kitchen. If you're making dinner, you can say, okay, you're not allowed in the kitchen area, and enforce a specific boundary while you're making dinner. But this is how we're going to help the dogs be respectful of the front door and respect guests' personal space.